When the world is turning upside down, what does being a hero really mean? As the first installment of the Ranger's Apprentice series, John Flanagan's book, The Ruins of Gorlan, introduces to us a fantasy world unlike any other. Meet Will, the orphan boy who's a ward of the state. He never really knew his parents, but he hears the stories, his mother dying in childbirth, and his father dying a valiant hero of war. Will knows that his father was most likely a knight, and so he's desperate to join the battle master as his apprentice. But as rotten luck would have it, Will is instead pushed into the world of the mystical and secretive Rangers. The old and grouchy Ranger Halt shows him how to sneak around, use a bow, and follow his instincts, but Will still longs for more. Will's first reaction was one of disappointment. A bow was something people used for hunting, he thought. Everyone had bows. A bow was more a tool than a weapon. As a child, he made a fair share of them himself, bending a springy tree branch into shape. Then, as Halt said nothing, he looked more closely at the bow. This, he realized, was no bent branch. It was unlike any bow that Will had seen before. Most of the bow followed along one long curve, like a normal longbow, but then the tip curved back in the opposite direction. Will, like most of the people of the kingdom, were used to the standard longbow, which was one long piece of wood bent into a continuous curve. This one was a good deal shorter. "It's called a recurve blow," said Halt, sensing his puzzlement. "You're not strong enough to handle a full longbow yet, and so the double curve will give you extra arrow speed and power with the lower draw weight. I learned to make them from the Tamilajai." "Who are the Tamilajai?" asked Will, looking up from the strange bow. "Fierce men fighting from the east," said Halt, "and probably the world's finest archers." "You fought against them?" "Against them, and with them for a time," said Halt. "Stop asking so many questions." Will glanced down at the bow in his hand again. "Can I shoot it?" he asked. Halt nodded. "If you feel that's a good idea, go ahead," he said. Quickly, Will chose an arrow from the quiver that had been in the bundle alongside the bow and fitted it to the string. He pulled the arrow back with his thumb and forefinger, aimed at a tree trunk some 20 meters away, and fired. Whack! The heavy bowstring slapped into the soft flesh on the inside of his arm, stinging like a whip. Will yelled with pain and dropped the bow as if it were red hot. Already, a thick red welt was forming on his arm. It throbbed painfully. Will had no idea where the arrow had gone, nor did he care. "That hurt," he said, looking accusingly at the ranger. Halt shrugged. "You're always in a hurry, youngster," he said. "That may teach you to wait a little next time." Will Will be able to prove himself to his superiors? Does he have what it takes to impress the battlemaster and maybe get a second chance? Or will he forever be the disappointment to his father's legacy? The Ruins of Gorlan is the perfect balance of intense and comedic. Will's inquisitiveness and Halt's stone-faced reactions are some of the best dynamic writing I've read since The Lord of the Rings. This book also deals with very real problems like bullying, identity, and the struggle to prove yourself in anything you do. It's perfect for anyone who feels thrown into life and is struggling to find where they fit in the world. So open up your next adventure today and discover honor and bravery in The Ruins of Gorlan by John Flanagan.